Today I'm going to find out how mountaineering boosts your mind. So let's find out how mountaineering boosts your mind. So what's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry, cool. So what are you collecting for today?
We're collecting for the Galway Mountain Rescue Team.
Yeah.
We have one day a year where we collect, it's a voluntary organisation, so we have to sort of collect funds for equipment and training and that sort of stuff.
Cool.
So this is our one day a year,
Yeah.
And luckily the sun is shining. And it's not raining.
Exactly, yeah. So a big pot there of pot of gold as such.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People are very generous in Galway. They every year, they're very generous to us. And it's our main, our main voluntary sponsorship event, if you like, or funding event, fundraising event.
All right. Cool. So mountain rescue, what does that entail? I know that's a bit silly of a question, but I mean, how big are the mountains first off?
Well, in Galway now, in Connemara mostly, we cover Connemara area and County Clare, but mostly Connemara areas are our sort of active sort of area. So the Mount Turks and the 12 Bends are the main area with a few other areas around there. And it really entails mostly searching for people and. So it mostly entails searching for people, and then
if somebody gets injured, you were saying?
Yeah, if someone gets injured in the mountains, normally it's a lower leg injury. So most of the team do what we call Rec 3, Rec 4. It's rescue first aid training. We're moving to what's called EFR now, so that's emergency first responders. So some of us are going training for that actually next week. And all of these training events, I suppose, cost some money. So we get some grant aid from the City Council, from Galway City Council and Galway County Council, and some from the Department of Transport. But we have to supplement that then with this voluntary funding. So that's what we're
So like injury-wise, obviously, we've got a huge big 4x4 here. Do you need, what other machinery or what other things do you have?
Well, mostly, the wagons, really, the cars and vans are used for transporting equipment to the site.
Yeah.
And then it's really manpower after that and women power. We have stretchers that take up to, you can take up to maybe 25 to 30 people to bring someone down from up on, maybe 3,500 feet or something like that high. It's very difficult.
So is it very old-fashioned manual that you use everybody's hands?
Very old-fashioned.
To bring them down?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like a rope, you're roping them through?
You rope the stretcher down, and sometimes, you can have to rope down over very steep ground, so you have to know then how to arrest the stretcher and all the people who are trying to lift it in case, there's a further accident. We don't want anyone else to be hurt, so that's...
And what type of weather generally do you encounter?
It's mostly at night, and it's mostly at the weekends, and it's mostly wet, because Connemara is fairly wet anyway, with the ground, it's mostly boggy, so you've got a lot of boggy areas, and the weather is always pretty atrocious. If usually if the weather is better and it's during the daytime, we can call in the helicopter, from Shannon or from Sligo, and they'll come down and they'll rescue someone, and that's and sometimes they'll work with us then, to bring people up to a site.
So it's great coordination with the services.
Coordination, yeah. The Coast Guard are brilliant,
And so electronics must even play a huge part nowadays with regard to GPS coordination and so on.
GPS, we have a piece of technology as well called Starlock now, which is really useful because if you have a smart mobile phone and you happen to be walking up in the mountains, we can locate where that person is from the mobile phone that they have. So that helps us a lot, because it means that
especially during the night, the darkness.
Exactly, especially during the night. So that's a brilliant addition. We have another bit of technology now that's done through the Gardaí, where it's called SAR call. This is where everything is the Gardaí now, and that's becoming more of a useful piece of technology to us. You know?
Okay. And so, like, internationally, do you think, like, are you in coordination with other bodies internationally, organisations, or do you learn internationally? Or have you seen things internationally on television or internet or whatever, and you've said, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to be there to do that rescue, or I would?
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, obviously there are some great big mountains in the world, you know, that you need, you know, very specialised equipment to deal with, and, you know, and a lot of skill. You know, luckily we haven't some of those problems, but we do have our own problems, because in some of the mountains in Conor there are no tracks, no paths. So, you know, people can get lost anywhere, and that takes us a while sometimes, you know, to be able to locate people. So searching for people can be problematic, you know?
So essentially the work entails, and I suppose, look, although as you say, you know, one geographic region has mountains of a certain type, has rock of a certain type and so on, and all around the world there might be different weathers and temperatures and so on, but essentially, as you say, a lot of the work is dictated by human beings individually, be it on the evenings if they're working 9 to 5, or at the weekend where they decide to go out. They decide to get lost, or they decide to get injured. Well, not decide to get injured.
No one decides to.
But you know, that's what happens to them. So I suppose there are like a lot of generic kind of issues or problems with this kind of work. Like, do you think that, like, is there a general mindset of people that get lost? Like, are there people out there, do you think, that are reckless, for example?
Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, that's not. I don't think that's our perspective, or my perspective, certainly. Anyway, you know, I mean, I think people need to go out. People need to go into the wilderness. I think it's something that has been recognised in various research papers down through the years, that wilderness experience is really good for your soul, really good for your, you know, your sort of psychological state. And we don't get it very easily anymore. So getting out into the wilds is, you know, is important, and people do that because they get that sense when you're up high and you're looking down on the world, you're seeing tiny little people and cars driving around. You know, it gives you a different perspective. And when you're in that situation, you can be unlucky and just, you know, get into difficulty, and it could happen to me as it could happen to anyone else.
Even though you're skilled and trained and so on.
But like, you know, I think accidents happen. You know? I mean, like, they just happen sometimes.
Well, if you're in the wilderness, and there's nature and there's animals and so on.
And you're taking more of a risk, and, you know, but life without risk is, you know, is pretty dull.
So do you think, rather than being reckless, these people could be risk takers in their personality?
I'm not 100% sure about that. I mean, I suppose we all are, you know, we all cross the road, and we all, you know, do various things that, you know, that I suppose could, you know, get us into trouble. I suppose if you happen to be up high and on steeper slopes and in bad weather and at night and things like that, then the risk becomes higher. You know, I suppose that's one of the things that can happen in mountains. Things can go wrong very quickly. You know, I mean, you don't expect things to go wrong, but they just can, you know, and that's the problem.
So going back to the natural part of it, like, what do people in general get from getting out and about, be it on mountains or just in nature?
I think it's, I mean, you're walking, so I think that's good for you, you know, physically, you know, you're increasing your heart rate. It's probably one of the best exercises you can probably ever do. It's also really good for your mind, you know, psychologically, you know, and I think all of that is, you know, is beneficial for everybody. When that was, you know, when I was in England, we were, at the time I was working in, I suppose, in the childcare services, so we were taking, you know, groups of young people who often had been in trouble, you know, either at home or with the Lord, you know, so we took them out on, you know, on walks, you know, and then out climbing, and got into rock climbing and all that stuff. So that was, you know, and that was really to, I suppose, to give them a challenge, you know, and to be able to see that, you know, you could get your kicks out of, you know, and excitement out of doing something that was quite legally legitimate. You know, you didn't have to get overexcited, you know, when you were breaking into someone's house or something like that.
So people like in inner city, like not just teenagers and stuff and adolescents, but do you think if you're born in inner city, you live in inner city all your life, do you think the natural thing, getting out there and stuff, is more needed not just physically for walking, but psychologically.
Yeah, I think it's needed for everybody, but I think people in inner city areas probably don't get that opportunity. I mean, you see now with young people having to go to farm, you know, these little model farms, you know, so that they can get an experience of, you know, what it's like just to look after animals and to be in nature in that area. You know, I mean, now I suppose, you know, people have to actually literally go out and find that, whereas I suppose a couple of generations ago it was all around you, you know.
Okay.
And I think it's necessary for people. People don't realise what was lost, I think, by moving into great big, you know, conurbations and cities, you know.
So it's good for your whole, I suppose, emotional and mental health, and
I think social health as well, because I think it helps us to understand the flow of everything, you know, the seasons, the way we're all dependent on that, and we probably lose that knowledge, you know, after when we're out of it for a while. You know, I think if you're in a farming environment, you probably have to live in that, you know, with the seasons. You learn how to live with them, you know.
And do you think that's going to affect like humanity then, like if people don't get out in nature that way, like over generations, let's say?
I think it probably does. I think people, you know, when people lose basic natural things like that, they start searching around for something else to replace that, you know, and often find things that are maybe not that good for you. You know, I mean, like, you know, all the things that are around us that we can abuse, you know, that are not great, give us an odd little, you know, bit of excitement, but, you know, and you can do that naturally, you know. So if you go off for a walk in the mountains, you know, you can get that adrenaline, you can get that bit of a kick, and you can enjoy it while you're at it.
And it's good for your confidence
and good for your confidence,
social confidence, as such you say,
and learn more about it.
And does it make you, like, when you think of getting out there yourself for the weekend or for a walk or whatever, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, you're looking forward to it.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. You're actually looking forward to doing something that's, you know, that ultimately is going to be good for you. Obviously, you want to avoid, you know, any accidents if you can. So you need to get the basic skills, I suppose, and learn, you know, how to navigate in bad weather and in the mountains, you know, when you're in a wide open area, so that you're not going to, you know, constantly need someone's help, you know. And I suppose that's part of the challenge too. You do it on your own, you know.
So would it be your definition of happiness, or would it be just part of the, I suppose, jigsaw of happiness for you, or for?
I think the jigsaw. The jigsaw. You know, lots of things make you happy, but I think it's the balance of everything that probably, the balance of having people in your life that are important, and, you know, things to do then that, you know, give you that little bit of a lift, you know. Because I think there's a lot of things that can happen that drag you down. Do you know what I mean?
Life does.
Things happen, you know. So, you know, you have to sort of keep that balance, or otherwise you'd get dragged into a hole that's hard to, you know, claw your way out of. And lots of people, I mean, we all do from time to time, you know. So if you've got something like that where you can go out for a walk and, you know, you get energized and you get the sort of good, the good stuff going on in your brain again, you know, then that sort of challenges some of that negative, I suppose, stuff.
Okay, cool. Thanks a million. It's been brilliant talking to you. So that's it. That's how mountaineering boosts your mind. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. Until next time, have a wonderful day.